This is a Disaster Central special report. My name is David Vela, reporting in from our headquarters at Houston, Texas, coming on the air with breaking news coming out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, where protests are now erupting across the city, with now reports indicating from Minneapolis police that there is a ongoing riot happening in southern Minneapolis, and nonetheless, they are erupting due to reports coming in that a federal immigration agent has shot and killed a man. Um, Shot and killed a man in Minneapolis earlier this morning. We can now confirm that the man was a 30 or 37-year-old white male who was killed earlier this morning after a confrontation with police. You're taking a live look right now at four distinct cameras that are being provided to us through Cranophonics. Um, these sources are coming from the AP, Status Coup, and Media Touch, where we're getting these videos from. You're taking a look at live feeds here, and you can see really just angles from with all these protests that are happening within the city. Uh, Obviously, tear gas has already been fired, as you can see here, tear gas being fired on your top corner stream that's being provided to us through Status Coup, and a lot is ongoing right now as we speak. We're trying to monitor, trying to get a lot of things in touch for you as we speak. This is going to be a multi-hour continuous coverage on really just incredible situation that is taking place. Uh, there is a press conference expected to take place by the Department of Homeland Security soon. Reactions are still coming out. We're going to be switching between feeds every so often, but we have a lot to talk about. We also have a lot to cover because there's also a winter storm that is taking place in the southern extents of the United States. But a statistic for you. This has been confirmed by Minneapolis police, or just by Minneapolis statistics. Um, Federal agents are now responsible for 56 or 66% of the homicides in Minneapolis this year, which is just an insane statistic, if you ask me. We're also attempting to get Trump's reaction. We know that President Trump uh, has been informed and briefed on the situation, and he's also been briefed on the ongoing protests that are ongoing as we speak. Uh, you can see here, I mean, we're looking at different live views. See if I can pull up some audio here for you. If you give me just a moment. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know if you can hear it. You probably can. But there is a lot ongoing right now. There's press on the scene, and something just got shot. I don't know what that was. We just heard a big boom. Here it is. You can hear it here. And yeah, so just to quickly go over what is going on for those that are tuning in. Uh, DHS is confirming that a 37-year-old American has been killed. A white American has been killed in a confrontation with federal agents. We don't know whether or not this was ICE or whether this was Border Patrol. Um, but that is something that we know. That's what we know so far. We can also tell you that tear gas has been fired as well. Multiple feeds here. You're taking a live look at a helicopter feed on your bottom screen. This is being provided to us by KARE, who's providing this helicopter chopper feed. And you can see just the amount of protesters that are organizing within the city. It's a lot that's going on. Um, Now, DHS is saying that this was a self-defense. This was self-defense. That's what they're claiming. Um, we don't have the full story on this. We don't know. We don't have all the angles because we understand that there's at least two major angles that we're missing. So we don't know that. We don't know whether or not we can confirm that, but that's what they're telling us. Um, we can also. This is from a senior Democratic source. The incident today, quote, the incident today is a new wild card and could make it challenging to fund the government next week. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We are basically now almost at the brink of shutdown again, government shutdown, because of because they have to refund they have to fund the government again. So um, senior Democratic sources are telling Fox that. Yes, they're telling Fox that this could make it challenging. This event could make it challenging to fund the government next week. But yeah. So in the original confrontation, it looks like in the original video, it looks like there is yeah, you can see people are obviously very frustrated with what's going on in their city, and honestly, understandably so. But yeah, the protesters are organizing around the streets. Police officers are moving in. You can see that on your top left-hand corner. You can see police are now moving into the streets. They're pushing towards the streets. Looks like. Can't really tell what they're doing, but they are moving up, and that's something worth to note. That's something worth noting. They are moving up. So this is from the same street. These three sources are from the same street. We have the AP. We have Status Quo and Media's Touch. And the chopper feed, I believe, is also from within that same corner district, which would be. Don't know what street we're in, but there is a lot going on right now, and protesters have been pushed back, and we can confirm that protesters have been pushed back many blocks. This has been going on for a bit, but we can confirm that as well. Yeah, it looks like yeah, there's a lot to be said right now. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send them in the chat. We'll be here to answer them for you. This has been a Minneapolis. Just to recap, Minneapolis has been has been a place of contention for about a few weeks, ever since the shooting of Renee, a woman named Renee, who was killed in her car while ICE agents were attempting to arrest or at least detain people from, I don't know where specifically, but they were detaining people, and she was shot. She was shot and killed in her car, and this has been a place of contention for a bit. But we're really not necessarily saying or seeing much of this calm down. This has been these tensions have been happening for a bit. We understand that the Trump administration has ordered a subpoena, I believe, towards Governor Walz, because Governor Walz and the city of Minneapolis, or the mayor of Minneapolis, is very much against ICE agents in their city and in their state. This is breaking news coming in from within the ground. We can confirm that a victim has been sprayed in the eye. A victim has been sprayed in the eye. Oh no, this is the victim. The victim was sprayed in the eye and then was disarmed before getting shot. So, that is breaking news.
Just following orders. We haven't done anything wrong. No, just following orders.
That is breaking news. Source just told me it looks like, yeah. So it looks like the protester was sprayed in the eye and then was disarmed. Um, was disarmed and then was shot. I don't know whether or not the video has been released, but wow. If that's true, then that puts this even more into jeopardy, and this is already becoming very tense already. This might just make it even more tense um, as the situation continuously begins to develop. The situation has been continuously escalating throughout the day, and it's probably going to continue to escalate as we go into the night. It is currently in Minneapolis, 12:44 p.m., I believe. Let me quickly check that out. Yes, it is currently 12:44 p.m. in Minneapolis. They are in Central Standard Time, and the situation here uh, is has continued to escalate as people have begun to join the protests even more. More people have begun to join the protests as of late. There is there's speculation right now as to whether or not this will escalate throughout the night. From all indications, from what we're seeing here, it looks like that answer might be yes. And let me just quickly get rid of the headline here. Uh, Here it is. This is through video source, so this is video source confirmation. Um, Video source confirmation, video source specifically itself, is confirming that the individual who was shot this morning had been pepper sprayed and was already disarmed before he was shot. So that's what we're confirming through video source, uh, and that's just what we're reporting on right now. You're looking at live sources here. You're looking at the chopper feed, but that's why we got rid of the headline here. The chopper feed here, and it suggests a picture here that people are beginning to, accumulate up in the street. People are beginning to rile up in the streets. So it looks like that is what happened. That's what's happening right now. So people are frustrated, infuriated, and we're gonna be awaiting a statement from Minneapolis PD, also as well as the Department of Homeland Security. So that is what we're awaiting. We're still awaiting to get more um, news. So there's a identity going around right now. We're not gonna report on it. Um, oh, okay, we can confirm this. So the person that was killed, according to the Minnesota Star Tribune, the person that was killed in this shooting, his name is Alex Jeffrey Preddy. So victim has been identified. Um, Quickly type that headline for you. Give me a moment. So that is what we can confirm now. We can confirm that the identity of the person killed is Alex Jeffrey Preddy. We're about to pull up that headline for you just in just a moment. Give me a moment here. Here it is. And it looks like that is what has happened. That's what they're reporting on just right now as we speak. And yeah, this angle does look like that's what the angle looks like. But I don't know. There's a lot going on right now, so just give us a moment to attempt to verify what is going on here. Um, so the victim of the shooting has been identified as Alex Jeffrey Preddy of southern Minneapolis. And yeah, so there's now new video coming around of new video showing ICE confiscating phones in the seconds, or ICE is now confiscating phones. Um, that's what it looks like. That's what's happening right now. So this is video sources that are confirming this. Uh, just quickly get something here. But yeah, again, a lot going on. A lot. There's a lot to be said. Um, so there's a picture. Okay. So let me just hold off on. Let me hold off. Let me just start off by saying that this is unconfirmed. But there's now pictures circulating around of what looks like National Guard trucks, or trucks that are carrying potentially troops on the ground. Um, this is this is coming from Highway 62. Highway 62 is now confirming, or Highway 62 is the scene where multiple trucks or caravans or trucks of U.S. servicemen are being driven to. We don't know whether or not they're heading towards the site of the protests, but I mean, that's very plausible. That's very possible that that's what's going on. Uh, so, and this is also being, yeah, this is also being seen right now. Um, this has also been posted on Reddit, where it's pictures of National Guard troops heading towards the city of Minneapolis. Looks like that. So, very interesting. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, send them in the chat. We'll be here to monitor them for you as we speak. We're about to slowly transition out of that, but let me just quickly do this. Um, Headline is being typed. So yeah, we are getting a lot of reports now that National Guards troops, National Guard troops are heading towards the scene. So, and I think this is gonna be very interesting how this develops in the next few hours. Like most protests, this is probably going to continue to escalate until it peaks at night, and we don't know what could happen in the dark. State Patrol is now advancing on the riot in South Minneapolis. This is coming through scanners. Scanners are now confirming that state scanners are now confirming that State Patrol are now advancing through are now advancing to South Minneapolis, where the riot is happening. Let's see. It is currently 12:53 p.m. in Minneapolis because they're on Central Standard Time or Daylight Time, one of them. I mean, just looking at the chopper footage, you can see that yeah, there's an increasing amount of protesters that are really much surrounding officers on both sides, on all sides of that four-way intersection. On the bottom left-hand side of your screen. We're still awaiting to confirm a lot of the speculation that's going on right now. It's in 6 hours. Yeah, probably. But I think that a majority of the action is probably going to happen towards the midnight hours, so around 12 in the morning here. Uh, Probably. So that's what I'm assuming will happen. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you that for sure. But that's what we're able to confirm now. There's 15 of us watching here. How are we doing? Um, there's a lot of people that are saying some stuff about the victim. We don't know what the victim does, and we don't want to confirm none of this until this is absolutely confirmed. But yeah, there's people that are speculating about what the victim did for a living or what the victim did, but uh, it's important to note that we won't know anything until authorities confirm. So it's not worth attempting to verify what the victim did. Sources indicating that there will be tear gas deployed again um, towards these protesters, so we're now awaiting that to happen. The footage here is just crazy. There's a lot of people gathering on all sides of the corner, all corners of that block between those I believe shops or something. Those are like retail stores. Um, but yeah, there's a lot going on there. Let me just quickly get rid of that headline. And let me quickly turn on the volume of the stream here.
Work over there.
There is going to be strong language here, so please note that. So yeah, protesters are chanting there, as you can see. They are very much chanting. So they're protesting Renee Gun, which is what her the person who was shot and killed's name was. Give me a moment. So you can very much see that they're continuing to protest and chant. There you go. Oh, oh, they're firing. They're firing. Okay. And police are retreating too. So they're firing and they're retreating. I think that's what they're doing at least. They are, yeah. So they are firing. It looks like. Yes, that is. So yeah, protesters are retreating again. I don't know what the police were doing though. It looks like the police were pulling back. Well, they were pulling back because of the gas, but yeah, they were pulling back, and now they are back to square one where they started. He's about to shoot. He's about to fire. That's what he's doing, right? He's about to fire. He just fired. Oh my god. Okay.
Behind John. We're trying to keep ourselves off to the side. We're behind the car, taking shelter. There's more tear gas is being thrown behind where we're standing right now, so we're going to try and move.
Police are firing at protesters. Police are opening fire here. We have feeds. You're looking at the feeds right now. Tear gas seems to be clearing. I think they're awaiting the order for police to show up. But tear gas looks like was fired at two sides.
Mirroring of tactics between federal agents and local law enforcement. Deploying all that tear gas is the
Yeah, that's what it is. It's federal agents and local law enforcement that are opening fire on I'm gonna say opening fire on people. Yeah, it's just opening fire on gas. So looks like a camera angle might have gone down. No, it's just refreshed. Okay. Oh, it looks like people are beginning to rush agents. That's what it looks like. It looks like people might be rushing agents. President Trump has posted on Truth Social. If you want to read it, just check it out. Very long what he's posting. I think the protesters are now pushing forward again. Are they throwing stuff again? What are they doing? Oh yeah, they are throwing gas again. I don't know what that could be, but is that a Molotov? That's terrible throw. Okay. Yeah, people are throwing tear gas again, and they're throwing it back. So yeah, protesters are now pushing forward, and they're kind of like they're kind of like countering the police because the police are now retreating. I think that's what it looks like they're doing. They're retreating, and while they're retreating, officers are shooting at are firing tear gas at people. Trump, okay, so Trump on Truth Social is pretty much calling. This is from Walter Bloomberg, who's saying that Trump is saying that the governor and the mayor of Minnesota and Minneapolis, respectively, are they are calling for an insurrection. Now, I don't know if what he's saying is true. I can't really say that they're calling for an insurrection. At least not now, I can say. I can't say that right now. But that's what it looks like is happening, Yates. Um, Press conference starting soon. Give me a moment. I'm about to start switching the feed into the press conference that's expected to take place. I don't know when it's expected to take place, but I'll just pull it up nonetheless. What is this supposed to be? Oh, I don't care about that. Okay. Just You're listening to a press conference right now. Get ready for the audio to come.
We will not allow violence against our law enforcement officers, and we need state and local help. State and local law enforcement to help us coordinate to get violent criminals off the street. Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hare just a few minutes ago did the opposite of that by omitting the fact that the suspect had a gun and magazines full of ammunition. In what looks like a situation, again, where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. I want to reiterate what President Donald Trump, Secretary Kristi Noem, myself, Director Marcos Charles, and so many others have said time and again. If you obstruct a law enforcement officer or assault a law enforcement officer, you are in violation of the law and will be arrested. Our law enforcement officers take an oath to protect the public. We go to work every day to protect our friends, our neighbors, and our fellow citizens. The fact of the matter is that the law does not enforce itself. It takes men and women who are willing to risk their lives to enforce it. The men and women of CBP and ICE, law enforcement, are highly trained professionals who love this country and do this work because they want to leave their kids and their grandkids a country that's safe and secure. Questions?
All right. Allie, go ahead. One question.
First question, when did agents learn that he had a gun, and did he ever brandish that weapon at agents?
Allie, this situation, again, is evolving. This situation is under investigation. Those facts will come to light. This particular incident is being investigated just like we investigate other similar incidents like we've done over the past several years. It's in the hands of professionals. Those facts will come to light.
All right, going on to the next question.
So, did he have an additional gun, or was the gun moved from the scene? And I watched the video from start to finish of that woman who was wearing the red jacket, and it doesn't seem like he pulled the weapon at any point. So, does the account come from the agents? Did they say that he pulled the gun before, during, after? When does the gun come out?
Again, this situation's evolving. This is under investigation. Those facts will come to light, but let's take a look at the gun. You can see the gun here on the screen there that individual possessed. It appears to be a semi-automatic, high-capacity type, possibly a Sig Sauer 9mm.
All right, no more questions. Sorry, no more questions, sir. Come on.
It looks like the press briefing has ended. That was the Department of Homeland Security's press briefing. Governor Tim Walz is now expected to speak to the American people shortly. We're expecting a live conference from him in the coming imminently soon. Press are now gathering there for the checking there, but that we came in late on that. We're gonna have it on this stream here. We know the person who has all of this together into one. We're very glad to know him. Granophonics, he is going to be displaying this on the screen for now, but that is what we know so far. We are expecting the press briefing to end at some point or start soon. My apologies for that. Okay. Here it is. I think we're having something here. Oh, this was the same thing that was being broadcasted before. Taking a look at the live feeds from the world, or from Minneapolis, where the protesters are continuing to protest as the situation continues to come to light. protests are beginning to escalate as we speak. So. And we'll be awaiting the press briefing anytime soon. Yeah, you can see the reporter there standing. This is, I think, this is ABC 5 with Minneapolis. You can see there's a reporter there. We are still awaiting a press conference soon. This is gonna contain profanity, and it's worth noting that that is what's, you know, it's worth to note that there is going to be profanity in this stream. It's just the chants that are being given right now. But for those tuning in on the situation, we are continuing to monitor protests that are happening. Here we go, press briefing. Or never mind, he took it out. But those tuning in, we're continuing coverage on the situation happening in Minnesota and Minneapolis, where federal agents have shot and killed an American man who was in a confrontation with, I think it was either Border Patrol or ICE. I'm not sure, but anyway, but nonetheless, he was shot and killed there in a confrontation. Protesters are gathering and developing. Donald Trump has posted on Truth Social that the mayor and the governor of Minnesota are calling for an insurrection against the United States, and he is pleading with Minnesotans to let the quote unquote ICE patriots to do their job. But obviously, based on this footage that you're looking at 4 different angles provided to us by Cranophonics. You're looking at these 4 angles, and you can see that this is not, clearly that is not what's happening at all. Protesters are very much angry. They're very much gathering, they're gathering very rapidly across into the streets, and protesters seem to be building a blockade. This is very reminiscent to me of LA. Back in 2025 in June, we had something like this happen, and it lasted, I think it lasted for a week. But reports of National Guard troops heading towards the city are also being confirmed. There's a protest in southern Minneapolis that have been called, quote, a riot, according to police. And we are still awaiting the press briefing from Governor Walz. Shortly, a while ago, we had just broadcasted a press briefing from the Department of Homeland Security, in which they defended the federal agent, and they also said, and they're also calling for, they're also saying that this is a developing situation, and that the facts should be, and that opinions should be waiting for the facts to come in to make that opinion. And you can see protesters making chants, beating on drums, trash cans, or whatever. But the size of the protests are going very rapidly as we speak. And protests are expected to take place across the country in the coming days as well. Looks like press briefing's about to start soon. We are waiting 7 minutes until Tim Walz is expected to speak. There it is. So that's the chance that, or that's I think I would assume that's the head person that's giving the I think that's the official. That's the person who's giving the. What am I saying? This is the person that's leading the protest. That's what it is. Okay. And yeah, very passionate speakers there. Sorry about that. So, yeah, protesters obviously very angry here, and we're going to continue this coverage. We're going to continue coverage on the situation until the situation begins to calm. But nonetheless, press briefings are expected to happen in the next 5 minutes with Governor Walz. We have around 3 minutes until the press briefing with Tim Walz happens soon. Yeah, and where is it? Okay. For those tuning in, we are giving, we are about to, we're awaiting to hear Governor Tim Walz speaking in response to what had happened in earlier today in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where ICE agents had shot and killed a man there. Press briefing starting soon. I'm trying to get a better angle of this. Sorry for the stream lagging. I have to put up this. I have to put up the graphic here, but it's not. It's being replaced with the Governor Walz stream, so. It's getting loud. It's getting louder and louder and louder. And look at that. That's a lot of people that are in the street. That is way more people than what we started with an hour ago. That's crazy. Man. A press conference supposed to start at any moment. We're still waiting that. Press briefing starting. Give me a moment. Here it is.
Well, as I said last week, this federal occupation of Minnesota. Thank you all for being here. Of a campaign of
Here we go.
brutality against the people of our state. And today that campaign claimed another life. I've seen the videos from several angles, and it's sickening. But I have a strong statement here for our federal government. Minnesota's justice system will have the last word on this. It must have the last word. As I told the White House in no uncertain terms this morning, the federal government cannot be trusted to lead this investigation. The state will handle it, period. Let me say something else, and this is critically important. All of us understand what happened this morning and the tragedy of it, and my deepest sympathies to the family of a 37-year-old Minnesota resident, a lawful firearm concealed permit carrier, something that I've been lectured to by Republicans for decades, that is not only your right, it's your duty. We know that the potential to further inflame tensions is high. And to Minnesotans, there's a difference. We want calm and peace and normalcy back to our lives. They want chaos. We cannot and we will not give them what they want by meeting violence with violence. Minnesota and our local law enforcement, as you have seen, have done everything possible to de-escalate. Local media has reported extensively on the cooperation to de-escalate this situation. Donald Trump, I call on you once again. Remove this force from Minnesota. They are sowing chaos and violence. We've seen deadly violence from federal agents again and again and again. But in contrast to that, on these frozen streets, what you witnessed yesterday was the best of Minnesotans, peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. And I attended in the church basement hundreds of Minnesotans from all faiths packing care packages for families that have been ripped apart. Despite the horrific acts by this federal government, Minnesotans are standing up for the rule of law. They're protesting loudly and urgently, but peacefully. It must stay that way, Minnesota. Minnesotans are witnessing, and we're creating a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this. They're helping their neighbors. They're walking their kids to school. They're feeding families. I salute their courage and their restraint, and I call on all Americans to see the decency that this state is exhibiting and the horrific cruelty, unprofessional, absolute abomination that is passing for what these ICE agents are doing on our streets. They think they can provoke us into abandoning our values. Well, they're dead wrong. We'll keep the peace. We'll secure the justice with our neighbors, and we'll see this occupation ends. Minnesotans and Minnesota law enforcement that continuously is being denigrated by this administration will continue to be the adults in the room, the professionals in the room, the decent human beings in the room that will keep the peace. With this, I'd like to turn it over to Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bob Jacobson to update you on the situation as we know it.
Thank you, Governor. I'm Bob Jacobson, Commissioner of Public Safety for the Department of Public Safety, and again, it's my honor to serve in that position. A man was shot and killed this morning in Minneapolis. I want to pause and remember what cannot get lost in this moment. A man died. His family and friends are feeling unimaginable heartbreak and trauma. And I know Minnesotans and I know our community will rally around this man's family and friends to support him. I also understand clearly that people are upset. They're scared, they're confused, and I want to assure you that this state's public safety officials and our local law enforcement partners are doing everything in our power to get answers, to help return a sense of normalcy back to our communities. You have the right to demonstrate peacefully. We recognize that demonstrations are often driven by strong emotions, beliefs, and a desire to be heard. But please, please remain peaceful. And I want to say it again because it is important and it is critical. Peacefully demonstrate. By doing so, you help local authorities to get answers. You help us to do our investigations. By remaining peaceful, you help ensure nobody else may be killed or injured. The thousands and thousands of people who gathered yesterday in Minneapolis proved that Minnesotans can make their voices heard peacefully, and they can do so without violence, and they can do so without destruction. And state resources are available and ready to support our local law enforcement partners as requested. And those resources include the Minnesota State Patrol, the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, and the Minnesota National Guard. With that, we'll stand for questions.
Governor, you've made this request before. Is there any reason to believe that it will be answered differently? Have you had any conversations with the president, with the federal government, and is there any indication that they are going to pull out or back down?
Well, I spoke twice this morning shortly after I received the call of this shooting. I spoke with the President's Chief of Staff, and first request was to get her people out of there, to get these federal agents out of there. They were going to cause more chaos. And second call is, with no uncertain terms, that we will investigate this. We will not be stonewalled. What we've already seen, and you saw it this morning, before any investigation is done, you have the most powerful people in the federal government spinning stories and putting up pictures and unrelated people who we don't know anything about, and a picture of a firearm to try and spin a narrative. And I ask Americans, this will end when enough Americans say this will end. Do I have any confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing? No, I don't have a lot of confidence Donald Trump will do the right thing. I do have a lot of confidence that the majority of the American people will do the right thing. And I think there cannot be very many people across this country looking right now, after all the reporting that's been done, after everything that's been said, under the pretense that they are here about immigration reform, and quit referring to these people as law enforcement. They are not law enforcement. We have law enforcement who do an incredible job. And to listen to Greg Bovino denigrate the work of our people who are out there cleaning up their mess, no, I don't have a lot of confidence that he himself will do it. But here's what I do have confidence in. There's a whole lot of Republicans, for whatever reason, cannot find their spine. But they might find the ability to know that they're not going to win another election as long as they live, unless they stand up for what's right and stand up for the rule of law and stand up for human decency, and that's the moment.
So then, just to follow up, because then if that is not the case, what are the people of Minnesota supposed to do who are in the middle right now? Because if they do Stonewall and you're trying to investigate, is that forcing them
no, it's a
on
good
force?
question. And look, I speaking to the people of Minnesota right now, I hear that scream from you, and I'll continue to plead and ask you for peace. And I know the answer is, you ask us for peace and we give it, and we get shot in the face on the streets coming out of a donut shop. We cannot give them what they want. I don't know how to say this in so many terms, to watch the madness that we've witnessed over this last week coming out of the White House and what it's doing here. My confidence is, and I say it to Minnesotans, as I've said, exercise your First Amendment rights, speak out, bear witness and document legally. But I understand the risk in that, and I understand the courage that it takes to have people out there doing this. Thank God we have video, because according to DHS, these 7 heroic guys took an onslaught of a battalion against them or something. It's nonsense, people. It is nonsense, and it's lies. So my confidence is this, Minnesotans. You know who you are, and you demonstrate it every single day, and we damn sure know who these people are. The American public knows, And this needs to be the event that says enough.
Go ahead.
Governor Caroline Cummings, WCCO. Can either you or Commissioner Jacobson speak to the fact that you talk about you don't trust the federal government to handle this investigation? We know with the Renee Good shooting, BCA said that they were blocked from accessing evidence. Has there been any suggestion that BCA is not allowed to do this investigation? Do you have officers on the ground doing an investigation right now?
The question was related to whether or not the BCA is on the ground currently with the investigation, and a reference to previous investigations that the BCA have attempted to be a part of. What I'll tell you right now is that we no longer have BCA agents or public safety, state patrol, or Minneapolis on the ground at that crime scene.
Is that an instruction by the federal government, or did you pull your agents out?
What I will tell you, and not to get further into the investigation, but DHS pulled out of the scene, leaving that to Minnesota State Patrol, Minneapolis. We did not have enough resources to be able to hold that ground safely, and we had to leave that scene because of the number of people that were available and the safety of those in the public and the safety of our teams. We were able to get there, but at that time we were not able to hold that scene to do a crime scene investigation. I can't talk any more about those details.
Handling the investigation then, if not neither DHS nor state officials right now?
We'll have more on that, but the BCA is engaged and involved, and we are working at the request of the Minneapolis Police Department on this, on the scene and in this investigation. So we are there, we're available. We want to make sure that we continue to work on this and engage with our federal law enforcement, but at this point, we don't have anything more to share about the crime scene. Again, we were not able to hold it. We wanted to make sure and keep people safe, but federal law enforcement left the scene and left us there.
Governor Ernesto with the New York Times. Have you activated the National Guard? I noted that Sheriff Witt has requested for additional assistance. Can you tell us whether they're going to be playing a role in keeping the peace?
Yeah. Yes, the answer is yes, we have, as we said last week, and we staged those troops. I'll have General Menke talk about where they're at, and again, use this as an opportunity to stress to Minnesotans the frustration you have, and as you saw this, they killed a man, created chaos, pushed down protesters, threw gas indiscriminately, and then left the scene, and then we're left to clean up. I understand the anger. I understand trying to parse who were the law enforcement on the scene when you got there after a man was killed is difficult for the folks who are out there. But I can't stress enough, our goal, and I'll have General Menke talk about what the role of these Guard troops are in conjunction with incredible work from the Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, from mutual aid across, and of course the State Patrol, of trying to get to the point where what we're saying is we can handle this and Minnesotans can express their First Amendment rights and have our folks on the streets and get these people out of here. And so, John, if you want to talk a little bit, but the answer is yes, there's activated. He can talk to you about numbers.
To be clear, Governor, activated different than having them staged.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's the National Guard doing right now? So we have, we have been on state active duty for over a week. So we've had soldiers prepared in the metro area to respond in a much rapid manner than if they were not mobilized. So we have a request from the Hennepin County Sheriff to support them, and that is to help them free up additional resources for other work that they need to do. And we have started coordinating with them this morning on that, and that first area of support will be assisting them with their requirement to provide security to the Whipple building. So we'll be helping them there. And then we are in parallel planning with other organizations within the state of Minnesota, to include the State Patrol, the Minnesota DNR, and other local agencies to render assistance if requested.
Can you say how many are now deployed?
I would say that the number that we have is adequate for the requests that we have right now, and I will also tell you that we are bringing more resources that will be able to respond in a timely manner that are not fully mobilized yet, but we are mobilizing more soldiers as we talk at this time. I'd like not to get into specific numbers for an operational security standpoint, but right now we have all the resources to meet the requests that we have.
Governor Walz?
I would note on this one, too, that we'll be billing the federal government for the cost of the National Guard because they are incurring the costs that are falling on us by their reckless actions. Yes, sir.
The Star Tribune. you alluded to this earlier, but are you projecting the narrative that has been presented by federal officials that this man, this 37-year-old citizen of Minneapolis, posed a threat to these agents? And do you reject any idea that he played some role with his weapon in leading to his death?
I'm rejecting the rush to judgment within 15 minutes of this, which they did last time. That's why you need to have a fair investigation. And that's why a video can show one thing, but what happened beforehand. But they already will slander this individual. They've already made this the case. And I will just say, you will all start to see it, and some of you probably have. There's multiple angles of this. And I'll go back to what we talked about before. They're telling you not to trust your eyes and ears, not to trust the facts that you're seeing in front of them. And at some point in time, you're reporting, and I think the reporting this week has been spectacular across Minnesota, that there's not two sides to every story. But in this situation, what I'm saying is we need to have a fair investigation, understanding what's happening and held accountable. We continue to hear, and we heard it from the vice president, that these folks can do whatever they want. They can have full immunity. And what I'm telling you is they will not. There will be justice to Minnesotans. Continue to gather the information. So I won't say where it is, because I think it's irresponsible to make that judgment. But what I see with my eyes and what you're going to see with your eyes makes that pretty hard to believe. And I would imagine as a federal officer, they would have come out and sounded like these professionals sound and say, we need to gather the information, we need to gather all the facts, we need to put them forward, and then we can make some informed decision based on the facts. They've written the narrative already. And the audacity to critique the police chief of Minneapolis after what work that those heroic officers are trying to do, and to be critiqued by this guy, I mean, I don't know, I've said it a lot, but America, as you're listening, enough is enough. Enough is enough of this. End this. End this. And we see them moving to Maine. If you're in Boston, you're in Chicago, you're in Philly, you're in Miami, it doesn't matter. We can't live like this. Our children are in trauma. A 5-year-old, you saw the picture, the bunny hat and the Spider-Man. These are not like some narrative to throw around, to parade around in some coat you had made and act like you're a tough guy or whatever. These are people's lives, and we have rule of law. So I'll let the investigation play itself out. We will do our best to find it, but I don't know, you kill a man and then you just leave your law enforcement, you just leave him. Is there a single case in American history where you just like walk away and say, I guess that just happened and we're not going to clean up our mess? I'm proud of Minnesotans. I'm proud of law enforcement here and our partners, and we'll get to the bottom of it. I think we have time for another one.
Brittany Armo with KSTV Channel 5. ICE commander just said in a press conference within the hour that they're calling on state and local law enforcement to, quote, help coordinate to get violent criminals off the street. What's your response to that request?
I'm better off to let these guys, the professionals, I have my thoughts.
So the question was, what are we doing to assist federal law enforcement on getting violent criminals off the street, if I understand the question? State and local law enforcement are always ready and willing and able to arrest violent offenders. We do not stand down from that, no matter where we get that information from. If there are violent offenders or violent criminals or violent crimes, we will investigate and we'll bring those to justice. If the federal government would like to work with us, to continue to work with us as they have in the past, to locate those violent offenders, we are always open to those discussions and always willing to assist. We do not ignore that. We are ready and able, and we do that. All of you as part of the media hear us arresting violent offenders all the time. We have not stood down. That is our mission. The federal government is not alone in arresting violent offenders. State and local law enforcement does that every day at great risk to their life, at great risk to the community. We do it because we want a safe Minnesota, and the federal government is not the only one to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
This has been a press conference by Tim Walz and the Minnesota government, the government of Minnesota. As Tim Walz and as they have confirmed, National Guard troops have been called in to have been called in to respond to the protest in case the protests continue to intensify. But that is what we have for now. Press briefing has finished. And ignore the this is the background picture we'll be using for the rest of the stream. But in summary, Tim Walz seemed very angry over what happened in his state again. And to be fair, this is like what, the 5th time this happens in his state in the last few weeks. Let me quickly pull up the live feed. Tim Walz has called out the government. He's called out President Trump again. He's called out, he has called out the entirety of the federal government, and the situation is only escalating from here on out. We are putting on KARE News again in the background. Shout out to, again, Cranophonics. There it is, his background there. Where is he at? Here we go. Shout out to them here, Cranophonics News, for giving us the live feeds that we need. Another thing to note, all scanners have been turned off in Minnesota, so we can no longer access scanners to listen into what is going on in the background. But blockades are being made in Minneapolis again as we speak. So there's going to be something to report on there. And you're listening in now into what the feet of the protests are sounding like with a background. This is DisasterCentral continuing live coverage on the situation in Minnesota, where protests are continuing to erupt. Give me a moment. I'm trying to get the screen to just show up. Give me a moment. For those tuning in, we're continuing live coverage on this unpredictable situation that has been happening in Minnesota for a few moments there. Turn on browser there. You can hear the browser there from that view. Let me quickly turn it down too, so then do it here. Okay. DisasterCentral is continuing live coverage on this situation. We are going to be taking a break soon. In the meantime, we'll be having this display, this screen display on the air. This has been a disaster. This is a DisasterCentral special report. We'll be right back momentarily. What operator is my? Give me a moment. I have to do this again. This is a DisasterCentral special report. We'll be right back momentarily.
doesn't feel like there's a certain danger. It doesn't feel. It feels more like people just want to be out here burning off energy. Yeah, and you know, Max, we saw the day after when we got out of shop. So I think it was about 2.5 weeks ago. People said the same thing, right? Maybe 10,000 people. Yeah, you can see this is what these are the least of their problems, really don't, unless an emergency vehicle would need to get through here and you could probably displace a lot of this truck. But a lot of people, and this is where it does feel like George Floyd was, that they understand that there's a sense of history here, there's something different that's happening. And they want to be out here amongst other people and they want to congregate in some way, shape, or form just because they're so energized right now. You know, it's below zero. It doesn't feel like it. A lot of the crowd has gone different directions now because the ICE agents are out there, law enforcement is out here. I think that right now people will see more smiles and more, hey, we're just getting started kind of thing, more than mentality here as part of the movement than you do anything else. I think it will continue for some time. You're not going to see these modifications in the cab or the things that we experienced earlier today out here. That's all the best I can do for now.
Mercy is now playing in theaters.
Detective Raven, this is the Mercy Capital Court. You're charged with the murder.
to think which way they'll come from.
Have you heard anything if they're on their way or anything?
Nope.
I was just saying, I think the crowd has maintained its size.
Fuck, guys!